Hi, I'm Dave Bergstrom, the pastor of Avondale Presbyterian Church, and we're looking at heaven. When we die, our soul instantly goes into the presence of God in His heaven. Then at the resurrection, our body and our soul will be reunited. 1 John 3:1 says, "When we see Him, we will be like Him." Therefore, when Jesus rose from the grave, what was He like? When Jesus rose from the grave, He had a physical but a unique body. The kind of body that we're going to have is going to be just like His. There are people who don't believe in the resurrection. They say it's impossible for God to raise every person from the dead. And then they go on and say there are people that have died at sea. And then the sharks and the whales and the fish ate their bodies. And some of their body parts fell to the bottom of the sea. And crustaceans then ate those pieces of the body. And then fishermen caught the crustaceans, and we ate the crustaceans. So there is no way God could find all the molecules and put us all back together again. There is no resurrection. To that I respond, the Bible says there's nothing impossible for God. People who believe we will be spirits without bodies forever ignore the whole story of Jesus. After Jesus rose from the dead, He appeared to His disciples. Luke 24:37 and following says, "They were startled and frightened, thinking they saw a ghost. He then said to them, 'Why are you troubled? And why do you doubt? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see. A ghost doesn't have flesh and bones, as you see I have.' When He had done this, He showed them His hands and feet. And while they were still not believing because of their joy and amazement, He said, 'Do you have anything to eat?' And they gave Him a piece of broiled fish, and He took it and He ate it in their presence." Our resurrection bodies will be flesh and bone. We'll be able to eat and drink. We'll be touchable. We'll be able to walk and run. The Bible says these bodies will be glorified bodies. That means we'll be designed to live forever. We'll be designed to live in the new heaven and the new earth. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, Paul likens the resurrection to that of a seed that is planted. You plant a seed, the seed germinates, it becomes a plant. Now the plant doesn't look like the seed, but if you let the plant mature, it will produce the same seeds that you planted. Apple seed turns to an apple tree that produces apples that contains apple seeds. The seed and the plant are different, yet they're the same. In 1 Corinthians 15:42, we read this, "So will it be with the resurrection of the dead. The body that is sown is perishable. It's raised imperishable. It's sown in dishonor. It's raised in glory. It's sown in weakness. It's raised in power. And it's sown a natural body. It's raised a spiritual body." If there's a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. When the body is buried, it's a perishable body. But when it's raised, it will never perish. Meaning that the new body will never again get a cavity, or get sick, or get a pimple, or a cold sore, or lose a limb, never die. Never will it be hurt in any way, shape, or form. It's buried in dishonor. It's raised in glory. In this present body, we sin. In the new body, we'll be incapable of sin. Everything we do will honor God. We're going to be raised in power, which means we'll have power like we've never had before. We'll have power to fly. We'll be able to walk through walls like Jesus did. Now, I don't know why we want to walk through walls, but Jesus did, so we'll be able to do that also. We'll be able to be in one geographical location, and in a nanosecond, we could be in Hawaii. And you won't have to say, "Beam me up, Scotty." You will never get tired, exhausted, or wear out. We have a natural body now. We will get a spiritual body. Our bodies are designed for living now. Our new bodies will be designed for eternity. And you may ask, will people recognize us? Absolutely. They recognized Jesus. Jesus visited 500 people once, and they had no problem recognizing who he was. We will never age, will never decay, never get sick, never break a bone, never lose a tooth, never sin, never get weak, never experience any limitations, and we will be completely recognizable. Somebody will say, will we eat? Oh, yes, we will eat. There's a marriage supper that we're going to go to, and I think the marriage supper includes food.